In the past 10 years, Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer has delighted fans of Facebook and YouTube since 2011. July 12, 2011 was the first episode of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer that was debuted with a bang. Since then, Agent Mike loves to continue to review movies and TV shows and even talk about things that has to do with movies and TV shows based. Yes, indeed. Agent Mike loves to continue reviewing movies and TV shows to this day. Agent Mike is about to give his memorable moments from the previous 3 seasons of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Here that he will talk about how he felt about reviewing his movies and TV shows that he loves. Now, here's a look at the Season 4 finale of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Everybody, and welcome to the Season 4 finale of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Oh boy, after all these episodes I did in the past seasons I am safe to say that Season 4 is short than previous seasons. Why? It's all because of the COVID-19 pandemic that really puts my work in a slowdown, as well as negotiating copyright issues in some of my videos. But don't you all worry. Soon we will enter Season 5 of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer in an all-new look and more movies and TV shows to come alive. But now I'm going to pay tribute to this episode of the past 3 seasons, sharing my memorable moments with you that I did in the past 10 years. That's right, 10 years of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. So now, without any further ado, let's start with Season 1 of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer, looking back at the previous episodes I did and sharing my memorable moments with you. The very first episode of Agent Mike's. That's where I got started with We're Back, a dinosaur story. I used to watch that back in 4th grade, back in elementary school. And I was thinking, hey, this will be the first thing I'll be reviewing in the first season. And I did. Well, it's an introduction to the first, and I call this a pilot episode because it gives me a warm introduction of reviewing movies and TV shows. And I said other cool things about this movie at every episode. But of course, I really love the way how this movie goes, and I like Roll Back the Rock to the Dawn of Time. And when I first uploaded to Facebook and YouTube in July of 2011,
all the fans loved it. And of course, this is one of the many firsts that I could accomplish. And my fans really enjoyed it and asked me to review some more movies, not just family, but other types in a genre. And I did. And of course, in this next movie I did, called Surf's Up, which is really an awesome animated film about Cody Maverick, and he loved to surf with Big Z and Lonnie. Aw, yeah. Imagine myself in Hawaii, where everyone surfs, and I pictured myself in Hawaii using a software called Hit Film Ultimate. That's how I got it in 2011. And now I know how to do chroma key by standing myself in the camera all the way back. It captures my whole body and position it very well, especially when it comes to Surf's Up. Why, I even did myself sitting down in front of the green screen and compositing it and positioning myself, imagining on the beach. It takes a lot of imagination. In Disney and Pixar's Up, that's what I did back in 2011, I like to talk about this computer animated film to what Pixar could do, and they did a great job making this film about an old man named Carl Fredricksen, a wilderness explorer scout named Russell, and a dog named Doug. Ooh, I like how Russell says this wilderness explorer quote that I use.
If I get it, I will become a senior wilderness explorer. The wilderness must be explored! Go, go! Roar! It's gonna be great.
Oh, I love this movie that I imagine traveling places that I have never seen before, like Angel Falls or Paradise Falls in Venezuela. And I position myself, imagine I flied using the propeller cap I wore. I will redo this movie review dressed up as a wilderness explorer scout. When I did Meet the Robinsons, this movie reminds me to keep moving forward. And I talked about that it was based from A Day with Wilbur Robinson by William Joyce. And my favorite scene of all is Wilbur Robinson loved to cooing pigeons, but Lewis disagrees with it. So here's me cooing pigeons. Coo, 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 coo. Of course, Meet the Robinsons is one of the greatest Disney animated films of all time. I like Lewis and Wilbur. They're the best of friends. Also, one of the greatest Disney animated films I reviewed is Bolt. That one came to me in 2008, and that really made me want to watch the movie. And guess what? It has a lot of action and adventure to it. I really talked about Penny and Bolt acting out in the greatest scene. And it is so awesome for me how Penny and Bolt really did some action work to it. And I also love Bolt doing some adventures in the country looking for Penny. And at Disney's Hollywood Studios back in 2008, I loved this Bolt exhibit. Pardon for my camera shaking. And these scenes across America reminds me of the places that I really want to go there again, like Las Vegas and places that I have never been before. And the ending is so touching and more country feel. For the Halloween memorable moment in 2011,
I'm ready to review.
I laugh because I like dressing up as a skeleton for reviewing Halloween movies, like Monster House. about 3 kids, DJ, Chowder, and Jenny. They discovered Mr. Nevercracker's house, why it was possessed, and while they're in, it turned out to be Nevercracker's wife. And they know how to stop Nevercracker's wife by destroying the house. This is an awesome Halloween movie that I talked about. And in the Halloween tree, when I got a letter from Carapace Clavicle Moundshroud that he invited me and friends to learn about Halloween's past. And wow, I read that letter and a lot of editorial thing I did, and I reviewed it once, and it turned out to be alright until the fan Nathan Phillips told me to rearrange something. And I did rearrange by refilming it and re-recording some thoughts that I did and putting updates to it to make sure the review was completely accurate so I won't have to do some spoiling. After all, what Halloween fun for me is flying like a witch. That was my favorite part on the Halloween tree. And the most important tradition of Halloween is setting up the Halloween tree back in my old front yard of my old house. Boy, that ending sure brings me tears. That Pip is alive and well after his appendicitis was removed. And this Halloween tree, as mentioned, it really constructed very well with Halloween lights and decorations. And all the neighbors of mine had enjoyed trick-or-treating at my old place. In Hocus Pocus, that's what me and my best friend Verdi did back in 2011. He and I loved this movie and to talk about and enjoyed it and reviewed it and had a great time together. Well, here's me and my best friend Verdi doing this part from Hocus Pocus.
I say it's goodbye, up and maybe up and down.
I say it's goodbye, up and maybe up and die. In Kamakoriyama, say bye.
In this episode that I reviewed Max Keeble's Big Move, this was a great 2001 film which received okay to mixed reviews from the critics. I really like to talk about this awesome movie, and I may have to do a revisitation of this movie for Season 5. But this movie is satisfying comedy fun about Max Keeble trying to save the animal farm from the evil principal of the middle school. And I like McGoogle's tune. Take a listen. Of course, I reviewed it well in this movie, and in the revisitation I will make corrections of what I should have done in the 2011. Here's an episode that is totally awesome.
What? My mission and objective is to review Kim Possible? I'm on it.
Yes, indeed. This was an awesome episode that I did back in 2011 of one of my all-time favorite TV shows and one of the firsts in Agent Mike's, Kim Possible. Yes, indeed. This is really the best of the best. And it's about a teenage girl saving the world from the evil villains and with her sidekick and best friend Ron Stoppable. I even dressed up like one, and this was one of the greatest episodes of Agent Mike's that I did back in 2011. And I know how to do some tricks, just like in the animated series. And I even have a picture with them back in 2006 at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I even bust a rap to the Naked Mole rap Indeed, my fans loved it, and I told one of my fans that this isn't a movie review, but it is a combination of review and entertainment.
You think you're all that, but you're not.
How awesome is that? And now, here's a look at my memorable moments from Season 2 of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. You see, Season 2 is when I start using HD for the first time. And I use 720p, then later I use 1080p. So, here it is. My memorable moments for Season 2.
At the start of Season 2 of Agent Mike's, I was filmed in HD for the first time since I got a new Sony HD camcorder. And the first Season 2 episode I did was reviewed a Disney and Pixar film called WALL-E. This is the very first of Season 2 episodes I did. Right after I'm done with Season 1, took a holiday break, and I started filming again for WALL-E back in February. And yes, I even updated the opening for Agent Mike's. Same music and different scenes. And that's me starting here, back on the couch for the first time in HD, as I talked about WALL-E. You know, a robot from the dystopian Earth centuries later. But hey, I even like WALL-E, who is a working trash robot, and he does his duties, and he even fell in love with another robot named Eve after he saw the portion of Hello Dolly, which he enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it too. In Planet 51, this is what I talk about. When it came to me back in 2010, I watched it on AT&T Uverse Movies on Demand via Stars, and I talked about Planet 51, which is a further away planet of the 1950s style. Of course, I love talking about this movie. Why, I even filmed myself at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex back in 2011. And really had a blast there and talked about different kinds. And here is the famous quote in Planet 51 movie. Listen to what they say.
Victory or extinction!
Indeed, perhaps victory or extinction is one of the memorable moments that I had. And at the visitor complex at Kennedy Space Center, Mars rover, which is similar to Rover on Planet 51, that's what I talked about earlier, and those human alien-like creatures, they acted like humans, 1950 style, like Lem and Nira are in love together, and it's so much fun. The very first Christmas cavalcade I did back in 2012 is to spread love, Christmas cheer to everyone with selected holiday movies and specials. That's what I did, and I even danced to the Happy Elf. Yeah, currently remastering this version with additional movies and specials not seen in the original release. Already had 2 parts, but we'll put 4 more parts on as I remaster. And yeah, my fans really enjoyed me talking to Jessica. And it is so fun. I even did some magic trick as dressed up as an elf and added effects to it, and this Christmas special is so awesome. Tupu, the one that came to me in 2013 when I was on an international vacation in Israel. that animated TV series that has never saw the light of day in North America? Well, I talked about it to convince that show to come to North America. So I talked about it thinking Tupu is really a wild child. And she is. But hey, this wild child animated series never saw the light of day in North America. But who knows, one day it'll appear on Amazon. Who knows? But I enjoyed talking about it, as imagined I was placed in New York City, Central Park. That is the perfect setting for me. And talked about it there and there. The very first mature edition I did was kids, at my fans' request. I use foul language in the film and uses some scenes that are mature content, and because this is a memorable moment, I'm only using it a few parts, but not all, but few. This way, this will understand why. And I did a Halloween cavalcade, and after this, I decided to review this next show from the UK, Little Monsters. Oh yeah, those young kids, they call them Little Monsters, each with their different personality and such. Not like Zit's Jeremy Duncan, but hey, imagine in a place where all the kids have different personas. And to me, I love to act silly, just like Silly Sydney. That's my favorite little monster, who is friendly and silly. That's who I am. And I asked my fans, what little monster personality are you? And I asked them to leave it in the comments. And it's fun for me acting silly, just like being a silly clown. Which of course I really to produce a show to it. And hey, fun being silly and acting silly is my thing. And the very first animated preschool series I did at a request by one of my friends back in 2012. This one is Stella and Sam. I really love that show on Sprout Channel, and now on demand. And hey, it's so fun playing in the backyard meadow. That was my favorite thing, and this was an awesome, memorable moment to me in Season 2. And it's so much fun playing in the backyard meadow the way it should. Oh boy, I love Stella and Sam and their friends as they played and played in their backyard meadow. Their backyard was their playmate. And yes, that backyard meadow is to let my inner child out, and so are the fans who watched it well. It's so fun playing games in the backyard, like ball, hopscotch, and many others. But hey, this is an awesome, memorable moment nevertheless. Finally, on Season 2 finale, I did a review of Disney and Pixar's The Incredibles. This enabled me to finish this job on Season 2 because I am planned to upgrade my computer to the latest video card, as well as a new hard drive, and such because of Windows 10 on the way. And hey, I love doing such superhero poses when I did a movie review of Disney and Pixar's The Incredibles. It's so awesome. I even watched it back in 2004 or 2005, whatever. 2004 to be exact. And this movie is totally awesome. I even saw Mr. Incredible at a parade at Disney's Hollywood Studios back in 2011. And it's so much fun, and that deserves, well, a memorable moment.
Oh, yes, indeed. Currently remastering The First Christmas Cavalcade. And soon I will remaster the Halloween one as well. That's why Season 2 is the start of the special holiday cavalcades. Come Season 3, that's what I did. I did some more movies and TV shows. And the favorite Mary Poppins and the sequel to Christmas Cavalcade. So here's my memorable moment for Season 3.
Ah, yes, George Shrinks. That episode I filmed back in 2014 at the old location before I moved to a new one. And it was released in 2015 at the start of Season 3 of Agent Mike's. Oh boy, I imagine myself what it looks like to be small, just like George Shrinks himself. And yes, George Shrinks was a classic PBS Kids show aired in early 2000s, and it's part of the Bookworm Brunch. This way I will be talking about it again in PBS Kids Memories 2 at a later time. Indeed, I see things small, and hey, I imagine myself what's smaller. I like the episode where George Shrinks and Becky Lopez searching for bugs to add to their collection. And catching bugs, too. I even filmed myself at the grass, being small, but I was filmed at the chroma key using HitFilm software. It made the magic happen. But oh yes, I really had a great time being small. And it's so much fun. I wish I can do it again sometime in future episodes. Maybe Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing, or Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, or maybe the TV series of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which is so awesome and so amazing. And I love George Shrink's gadgets that made himself fly, and his car, and did other things too, just like a scout should. But hey, in this next episode, which is the Back to School special, Word Girl and Martha Speaks, that's what I did. It is so awesome to make kids understand, to build their vocabulary, and to have a blast with Word Girl and Captain Huggy Face. Even Martha Speaks and the gang as well. Those are awesome PBS Kids shows, which enables them to build their vocabulary, and when they see the words on the screen, they'll sound out the words and they'll learn it. It's so much fun with Word Girl and Martha Speaks at the same time. My favorite thing in this memorable moment I like to do in Martha Speaks is to be part of the Martha Speaks gang with TD, Alice, Truman, and Helen. It's great being part of the Martha Speaks gang in this episode. I like TD and Helen and all of its characters on the show. And of course, one of my fans said, try to be less sarcasm, and I said, sorry for the sarcasmus. That's what I stated in the description on YouTube. But hey, I'm acting like TD Kinley. He's the great guy. And yes, and it's so much fun being part of the gang as mentioned. This is an awesome, memorable moment that I'll never forget in Season 3. Next up is Rain Man. One of the things I did back in 2016 is that Charles Zacharitz really liked this episode a lot. And it is so great that I really enjoyed this movie a lot. About Raymond Babbitt and Charlie Babbitt. They go together on this awesome road trip to California. Now that's what I call fun. And playing blackjack too. I recall reviewing The Boxcar Children was back in 2014 when I watched the movie for the first time. And I decided myself on Season 3 to review that movie. So this way, I really want the fans to hear my review And hear me out, because this movie is all about helping people and helping each other and having fun living in the boxcar. And it is based from the popular book series. The first Boxcar Children book was totally awesome, and it turned it into a movie. And it also has the sequel, as mentioned in the special edition. But this is one of the greatest memorable moments I had in this episode, where I love to talk about the Boxcar Children, and I will be talking about the sequel in a future episode of Agent Mike's. Perhaps one of the greatest memorable moment I had is the sequel to Christmas Cavalcade. It's called Christmas Cavalcade 2 Global Holiday. I filmed it on location at Santa's Enchanted Forest at the former Tropical Park area. And I really had a blast, and I had a great time talking about Christmas movies, TV shows, and specials at different locations I filmed on the Chroma Key. This is one of the greatest memorable moments I had on Season 3 of Agent Mike's. I even dressed up as an elf once again, even though I still did magic on effects and such. And hey, it's fun for me to portray different characters in the sequel to Christmas Cavalcade. And of course, I knew how to bring the guitar over to Mike. That's how I did. And I even brought in a special guest, his best friend from high school, Verdi Mayer. And what a surprise! Verdi and I had great times together doing this sequel to Christmas Cavalcade, talking about the Muppet Christmas Carol, Ernest Saves Christmas, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas live-action version. Verdi and I were being placed in different locations in Orlando. Imagine that Verdi and I were there. But hey, it makes a great memorable moment that I'll never forget. Even I did in Pineville. I imagine it very well. But nevertheless, this deserved to be a greatest memorable moment I had. And after the Christmas Cavalcade 2 Global Holiday, I did Choose Your Own Adventure, The Abominable Snowman, the interactive DVD game. Though this is the only one that has been released in the market. I wish that would make it into a sequel, but all we got was this and the story, as mentioned. Oh, I love the Norfs, those greatest characters, Krista, Benjamin, and Marco. They had fun exploring the Himalayas, and they learned things at the same time with the tour guide. And viewers can get selected to different quests in the first choice. This is Quest 1, that Krista, Benjamin, and Marco really enjoyed the Himalayas to search for the Abominable Snowman. And the second quest, they learn that they accepted into society. And that way, I was accepted into society just like a good Boy Scout. And hey, this deserved to be one of the memorable moments I had on Season 3. Another episode I did on Season 3 at the request of Mr. Jake Long, Mary Poppins. I received his request from Season 1 and eventually did aired in this season. Boy, I love dressing up as an Englishman talking about Mary Poppins, one of the greatest Disney live-action films of all time. And I really enjoyed it very much. And I loved its songs, and I loved A Jolly Holiday. And hey, if I want to make this, well, to be part of this memorable moment, why not? Mary Poppins is awesome. And of course, meeting with a celebrity person in their dream and in real life, just like that, Henry and Me is the answer. I talked about Mark Twain and Me, how a girl met Mark Twain in this awesome Disney film that was aired on the Disney Channel a long time ago, and a theatrical stage show, Anne Frank and Me. It's about a high school girl who got into an accident and fell asleep on a hospital bed, and she had a dream that she met with Anne Frank during World War II in Europe. And for Henry and Me, This really brings out the joy about a baseball star named Henry Lou Gehrig of the New York Yankees. And it's about a young boy named Jack who wants to become a baseball player. And I dressed up like him when I talked about this movie that I saw back in 2016, right after Hurricane Matthew missed us, and the New York Yankees is really famous and became the holy grail in existence. About a boy named Jack who met with the celebrity Henry Lou Gehrig while he's in a hospital bed after contracting with a cancer type. I did play Jack as a baseball player, acting and reenacting from Amazing Alex, and knowing how to pitch the ball and striking the player out like this, and knowing that the Yankees won. This really deserves to be one of the memorable moments that I ever could accomplish in baseball. And finally, 64 Zoo Lane of what I did is really the experiment that I decided to do such preschool shows like this, talking about preschool shows with the kids and what 64 Zoo Lane was all about. It is based from the book series, and I really like the British version of the show. The American version, which sounds different, but hey, it's all the same. I like Lucy and the animals residing at 64 Zoo Lane, telling stories to Lucy before bedtime. Oh, I love to talk about it to kids because I love kids. And one of the greatest moments that I ever had, which is so much fun hanging out at the zoo. And now that this is one of the awesome, memorable moments I had on Season 3, and now it is time to go to bed. Sweet dreams, y'all. And this was the greatest, memorable moment of all time at Agent Mike's.
And there you have it. That's a look at my memorable moments in the past 3 seasons of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Rest assured, everyone, I promise I will do more movies and TV show reviews with you. So thank you all for watching this special Season 4 finale. Don't forget, I'm always here. If you want to send me email of your favorite movie or TV show you want me to talk about, any request or comment, send me email here at agentmikemtr@gmail.com. Let me know and I'll be happy to respond to you back. So now, this is Agent Mike and I'll see you in Season 5 of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. See you later, everyone! all for watching the Season 4 finale of Agent Mike's Movie TV Show Reviewer. Don't forget, I'm always here. If you would like to become a fan on Facebook, visit facebook.com/DragonAgentProductions and become a fan and leave a request or comment, and don't forget to press thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/DragonAgentProd1. Don't forget to leave a comment or request, and please subscribe and don't forget to press thumbs up. And leave a message on my blog at AgentMikeHub1.tumblr.com. This way, I will be happy to respond to you back, and I love to hear from every one of you. So this is Agent Mike, and once again, I'll see you in Season 5, and have a great time.